Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce the Deputy Chief of Engineers, Major General Rick Stevens.
Hey everybody, how we doing? All right. Take a deep breath. Let it out. You all been working hard, okay? I want to welcome everybody to day 2, obviously, and it's really been an honor and a privilege to host this much talent and energy here at the headquarters for the Army Corps of Engineers, and I know General Bostic was really impressed with all of the effort that went into making this worthwhile for our engineer regiment. I want to congratulate, number one, everybody for staying off the blotter last night. So good job on that. And then my other opening remark is, Adam, the picture that was up there, can you put that previous picture that was up there? Yeah, that's not normally the finger I get from you. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for that. Hey, look, we've got a great session planned here to kind of outbrief and culminate these activities. I really do want to thank the team that was up here previously and Colonel Roth for all the effort that goes into this. I mean, it really makes a difference for our regiment, and you ought to be very proud of that. So really, without further ado, I'm going to hand it back to Adam, and I think he's going to bring Jack up here. So let's go.
Cool. When we talk about the...
By the way, is the definition of a smattering of applause.
In the maneuver community, sir, we call that withering fire. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all members of a regiment. The regiment has a coach. It's a fraternity. It's what we do. We're all engineers. But there's one person who has been the driving force, the heartbeat, the pulse of what this regiment does. He no longer wears a uniform, but he's someone who feeds the traditions of what we do as engineers. Long served as a name in this regiment. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce that name, that heartbeat, that pulse, Jack O'Neill, Executive Director of the AEA.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you. Army Engineer Association. I just had a conversation with General Carlson about SAME. He said, hey, what's the difference between SAME and AEA? And honestly, I told him, I get it a lot. I really do. And I'm a member of SAME, and it is a top-notch professional engineer association that is joint. It's Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, Public Health Service, and all that. And it's PE-centric and all that. That's great. AEA is a fraternity. We don't care whether you have a PE. If you have an engineer MOS or you're a civil servant in USACE, you are a member of the regiment and able to take advantage of the benefits of the Army Engineer Association for a very affordable price. Could you go to the AEA slides? And I have a bumper sticker here. Every engineer soldier, or you say civil servant, can benefit from AEA. That's the resource. And that's all you have to say. Give me the next slide, please. I'm going to give you a little bit of basics. We are an actual corporation incorporated in the District of Columbia. We have a tax-exempt ruling from the IRS. That's all good, so we can give tax-deductible letters back to people who donate. We get money from a variety of sources. Individual dues make up less than 10% of our annual revenue. We don't charge a lot of money for people to join. In fact, most junior grades, it's $1 a month. And those of us that are senior and retired, it's $25 a year. Yeah, so not too bad. We have an awesome store at Leonard Wood. We get income from corporate advertising for our magazine, which is a top quality magazine. A lot of our programs we get corporate sponsorship for. We are also registered in the Central Contracting Registry. We are and have done government contracts to run particular seminars and stuff like that. We did the IED Defeat Training Seminar at Fort Irwin for a number of years with an official government contract and all that, web registration. We have all that capability. We've done, as you see, that we do a vendor exhibit out at Fort Leonard Wood every year. Even though no one goes to Enforce during the time that industry is there, industry still comes there. They want to see the commander of the engineer school. They want to see the commandant and their staff, and they will invest in coming to see it. And we do the Castle Ball. I signed the contract for the Castle Ball here in D.C. And I get corporate sponsorship. I'm able to put logos on the program. If it was a government thing, you couldn't do that. You can't put up signs, can't get sponsorship, can't give them logos, yada, yada, yada. And I'm also responsible for changing the Castle Ball from January to August. Under normal circumstances, the Castle Ball would have been last night. And sometimes that Castle Ball has had snow. But the hotel actually wasn't available for this year. We started looking at other USACE windows. They have a summer leader session. Okay. Friday of Summer Leader, 7 August 2015, in the Hyatt in Crystal City this year, Castle Ball. Next slide, please. This is sort of a general statement about the engineers, our community, our family, what we do, just a little bit about what we do worldwide and what we care about. Next, please. We need your help. When I roughly look at just serving engineers, those that are in the field in our 3 components, those that are in USACE, maybe 120,000, give or take. We have 5,000 members. Even the chain of command isn't fully invested in AEA yet, and it's always a tough sell, so I'm going to try and help you make that a little easier. Next slide, please. Here's how you can help. You are allowed to explain that your troops, your people, whatever your piece of the regiment is, that those people may benefit in some way from joining the AEA. And it's legal to tell them that. It's legal to tell them 10 times a day. What is illegal is to tell them, if you do it, I will also give you a 3-day pass and a $50 savings bond. As an incentive to join, you're not allowed to give them incentives, nor are you allowed to give them threats. You'll be on extra duty, So all you have to do is every now and then say, hey, it can benefit you, it can benefit your family, we give scholarships, all kinds of stuff. So, next slide. This is why. We give back to the regiment. We do not rake in dollars and keep them in the bank and keep growing and driving Mercedes and stuff like that. We give back. We have built that sapper statue. We raised the money for it. We contracted for its construction. We paid for the installation of it at Leonard Wood. And it is a memorial to every engineer that has ever served our nation. And it's an awesome-looking statue, and I have a picture of it later. We also raised the money for the Fallen Engineer Wall at Leonard Wood since 9/11/2001. Brian Watson at the time was commandant at Leonard Wood, said, hey, we want to build and we want to put names on a memorial. I'm going to show you a picture of that. It is beautiful. And it's a very, very solemn memorial to those lost, soldiers lost, and there's a USACE civilian on that wall as well. All the historical plaques, all the battalion, brigade plaques that are in the regimental room, if you've ever been there, they're all there because of the Army Engineer Association. And of course, you know the DeFleury Medal Program, the gold, silver, and bronze DeFleury program for the regiment is managed out of AEA. We support. Okay, that's one. There's more to why. Next slide, please. We give money to the museum. I am actually required by an MOU with the Center for Military History to give a minimum of 25% of my annual profit in the store to the museum. I signed a contract with them to do that. Many, many years we didn't even make a profit in this store. And sometimes our profit, this year's profit, we just had an audit, we made $4,000 in the store last year, profit. And 25% of that, okay, $1,000. We give $5,000 minimum to the museum every year, regardless of what happens. Because given to the museum is given to the regiment. That's as simple as that. Given to AEA is given to the regiment. We're going to give it back in some way. Our magazine is a very informative magazine that covers the full breadth of our regiment. All the components, USAs, some of our contractors, and it's very, very well done. We give scholarships to active soldiers, junior soldiers. We give scholarships to combat wounded soldiers. Give scholarships to families of our fallen soldiers. And we give scholarships to sons and daughters of AEA members. We give out roughly $10,000 to $15,000 of scholarships every year. We have a career center just like SAME has a career center on their website, linking our members with the corporate world. And I try and promote it and try and promote our corporate. We have about 150 or so corporate members, not nearly as many as SAME, and a lot of them are the same, but we have corporations that don't affiliate with SAME, corporations that affiliate with Fort Leonard Wood, mine countermine, military bridging, construction equipment, geospatial stuff. So we have a very, very broad industry support base. It's pretty good. When we do a seminar, we can give professional development hours, just like SAME can. And our store is great. Okay, next slide. All right, this is it. I mean, that's the statue. That's the wall. He stands guard over our grove, our history, our traditions. I'd like to think AEA members stand guard with him. And so take that message to your troops. They can benefit, stand guard with him. Any questions?
Sir, Command Sergeant Major Bob Sonic with 416 Theater Engineer. Oh, sorry, thank you. Twice I've done this, and both times I've gotten a cold shoulder, even colder than one from my angry wife at me. So I've recommended twice how to increase your membership. The first opportunity would be is one, right now your DeFleury awards are issued and must be signed off by a lieutenant colonel that's in AEA. If you open that up, make it command sergeant majors who are part of AEA as well, you'll increase the number of awards that you could possibly issue. Okay, just a thought, and that includes at the steel level or bronze. Okay, the second one is increase the cost of that, which is funded by the individual who sponsors the award for the bronze or steel DeFleury by an extra $10, and then provide a year membership to AEA to the soldier that receives the award at the bronze and steel level. And within 5 years, I'll bet money that you'll increase your membership, and then you might not get all, say, 5,000 hooked for the next 10 years, but even if you get 10%, that's better than what you're doing right now, right, sir?
Yeah.
So those are two suggestions.
Those are great suggestions.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Sergeant Major.
Sir, you mentioned the Castle Ball. Who's invited to attend the Castle Ball?
Say, any Anybody is invited to attend the Castle Ball. We have it here in D.C. It's usually affiliated with the Youth Safe Leader meeting or conference and all that, but all the local engineers in the area, people in the Pentagon, and anybody who wants to come to it from outside. And we do. The Command Sergeant Major from Engineer School and all that come out. So we put out to the whole regiment. Everybody's invited. It's pretty cool. Any other questions? Thank you very much, y'all.
If you could bring up the Deputy Chief of Engineers briefback slides, please. While they're bringing that up, a couple of food for thought, since the last word will belong to the Deputy Chief. First thing is when we talked about simultaneity of action and the fact that the DISCA, Training and Integration, Combined Talent Management, they're not unto themselves. There are seams that put them together. So talking with the 20th Engineer Brigade Commander, who right now has a heightened interest in a thing called DISCA, well, that means that the DISCA working group probably needs to be talking with the brigade commanders as much about that as the training and integration. Second, questionnaires. How many people filled out a questionnaire? Just raise your hand. Okay, we still have more, right, Mac? Yes, sir. Everybody write down in your calendar, please, the 25th of February at 1300. The 25th of February at 1300 is the next Reserve Component teleconference. That was wildly successful from the Office Chief of Engineers in getting folks to take what you've done today and bring it to the next level. That is actually the normal day that we would be doing our worldwide civets an hour later. Except we'll be doing this in an unclassed teleconference, and ops from OCE will be getting you out that information. 23 and 24 April will be the Senior Engineer Leader Conference, and you'll be seeing more from the Engineer School in the coming weeks. And yes, there will be a Best Sapper competition. That is 23-24 April. And it is anticipated at some point in the May-June timeframe that there will be an NTAPE, an Engineer Total Army Planning Exercise. 14 through 17 May. You heard it here first. Location?
The packet number one choice is Orlando, so if they prove it, Orlando. Second choice is Atlanta.
So 14 to 17 May 2015 for 12th Theater Engineer Command for Engineer Total Army Planning Exercise. Yeah. Anything that they need to know about packets, Sergeant Major?
Get their packets submitted to the Sapper course. Right now, we only have 5 teams signed up. The date for the Best Sapper Leader competition is April 19th through the 22nd.
Which means that we will be starting out CELSI by seeing the end of Best Sapper. So everybody who's coming to CELSI, like we used to, we'll see them bang on the door. Hooah.